Welcome back to Nick Lenz Comic Corner, classic less known classics. This is episode number 2698 and Doubleshot number 2592. Yes, I do know the fact that this is basically the third to last episode before episode 2700. This was discussing a Batman Arkham book. One of two I have not discussed, because I've discussed all the rest of them. This is one of two I've not discussed just yet. There will be some stuff skipping over because discussed previously already. Excuse me. Well, this one is one of Batman's many lovers, who's also a villain. She's daughter of one of Batman's most notorious villains, Ra's al Ghul, and she is also the mother of Damian Wayne, the beautiful Talia Ghul. Yep. Now, of course, the Batman Arkham book collects various appearances they made over the years. Not every single appearance per se, but various appearances. Here's what collects. Her debut appearance from issue number 411 from Detective Comics. Her second ever appearance from Batman 232, which is Roz's debut. Of course, the pro book for Talia. Son of Demon one shot. Her story from The Most Suited Person. Death and the Maidens, Chapter 9. Well, basic combination series. Profile, Daughter of Demon from Batman Secret Files Orders, number 2005. Lost Days prologue from the first issue. We also have Batman and Son, Part 2, which is from Batman number 656. Batman vs. Robin, number 3. From Batman Robin number 12. We also have two Batman Incorporated issues. First from Batman Incorporated Volume 1, number 2, and Batman, in the final issue, Batman Volume 2, number 13. We also have a two-parter, Rules of Engagement. Now, here's what I'm skipping over. The Batman Incorporated issues, because, well, I've viewed them already. Batman issues, reviewed those here, the Volume 2 issues. Actually, those are Volume 3. Batman 856, discussed already, because I think it's part of the Batman storyline. Death Maidens, just skipping over that because it's discussed already. And I'm also skipping over Batman 232. 411 is done by Danny O'Neill, artwork by Bob Brown. The inking is done by Dick Geno, and the cover is done by Neil Adams. Now, Neil Adams has nothing with the creation of Talia. That's all Denny. Mostly put, this is a story that came out that preceded Roz's debut. The story I've heard, the reason why that she was brought back for that other story wasn't a connection. It was just connected from a different book. This came about a year after the debut of Man-Bat. Yep. And of course, it has a Batgirl backup feature, which I have discussed already in this book right here. I have to keep this close by because, well, I'm basically covering stuff basically, yeah, basically this is collecting here the Batgirl story, which is from issue 411, which is called Cat and Run. Yeah, that's collected here. So with this particular reviewing this here, I'll get done this issue, which is awesome. Instead of Death Eaters. Mostly put, this is a story where Batman is tossed on by some assassins, some people who are just random attacking. I love the artwork here by Bob Brown. Excuse me. In the story, he meets Talia, who is like this captive woman, who kind of in a way falls for him, and it's a good story. And then she gets away. She shoots the guy in the train, falls over. She hugs Batman. And then she's not sitting into this issue 232, which discusses already in Batman Arkham, Ra's al Ghul. This is basically Raz's debut, who is the father of Talia. And here's a fun fact. They actually loosely adapted this issue here for Raz's debut on Batman the Animated Series. Yep. Now, Batman, Son of the Demon. This is done by Mike W. Burr, art by Jerry Buckingham. This issue created the prototype version, what we now known as Damian Wayne. Kind of in a way, Damian made his debut here as a baby and then was basically retconned years later. Mostly put, basically, Batman is, well, we have this pregnant woman who's being him as one guy, though Batman does help him out. It's mostly Batman dealing with this big world threat, and he ends up actually marrying Talia in this story, and they have a kid together. But it's a really good story. I'm glad they included it in here. but it's just a really damn good story. Nothing violent per se, because Mike Burr has a reputation for, when he writes Batman, to be very, very violent. Like, more violent than he usually is. This book, no, not really. It's a good, self-contained, standalone graphic novel that I'm glad they collected in here, because it makes total sense. This one here, most super person, I believe this is from one of the words. This is by Greg Rucka. Yes.
At Signal.
Sorry about that. Also, a person, this is basically stuff related to New Evolution, just a standalone Talia story, where it doesn't involve Batman at all. Just spotlight story for her. She takes out people who are threatening her, and shows the fact how much badass she is. Death of the Maidens. I have kind of discussed this miniseries already in a previous review. Mostly, sadly put, when it comes to miniseries, written by Greg Rucka, artwork by I don't remember who the artist is, Jansen. Now, this book is noteworthy for two things. Number one, it uses Nyssa, Rinko, Talia's sister, who years later fell for Tim Drake. I am not kidding about that. And also, this character also appeared on Arrow as Nyssa Al Ghul, the older sister of Talia, just like how she is in the comics. Yep. Also, sadly put in the story, they killed off Roz. And this came out in 2003. He came back 4 years later in the resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. This is, and also in the story, Nyssa pretty much killed and resurrected her own sister multiple times before she brainwashes her. And when the killer brought her back, she apparently had to strip her naked. Yes. That's to do his own sister after profile page. And then we have the opening story of the opening issue of Red Hood Lost States. I will eventually review this mini-series, but her involvement in this thing is basically, the best way to describe Lost Days, it is basically what Red Hood was up to prior to Under Red Hood. And it's written by the guy who actually brought back Jason Todd's Red Hood, Joe Winnick. I'll say it for them, but it's a really good issue. I love this miniseries. And, well, everything else discussed already. Yep, but great book overall. Loved it. And I give this book a 9 out of 10. Next up we have is basically the last 8 issues of Aquaman Sword of Atlantis. Excuse me. Now, with these last 8 issues, these are issues 50 to 57. Now, Kurt Busiek has left the book. Do not know why. He did 10 issues. And we have Ted Williams and Sean Manus in the artwork. Mostly put for these last 8 issues is just more stories related to Arthur Joseph Curry. Sorry about that. I think basically... Okay, so... Yeah, it is mostly put just him dealing with, like, There's a Dwell in Darkness, which I've read actually was later revealed to be Aquaman himself, the original one. Him working with King Shark in these issues, also with Mira. Now it's been suggested. Sorry about that. It has been suggested that Arthur Joseph Curry is the son of the original Aquaman, but it's never been proven. You're like, really? Yeah, really. Anybody thinking, was 50 double-sized? No. Just a regular issue. They kill off Duel in Darkness in this issue, who turns into Aquaman. The first day, you also have debut of the second Teppo, a Topo, the original one, was an octopus who was a pet of Aquaman. And sadly, they put the second Teppo is only here for the last these issues of Aquaman Son of Atlantis, and that's it. There's also Aquaman's one of his sons, Karek, who becomes Nirwal. Who actually did die at one point, and he was brought back as this guy. And he's kind of in a way here for first couple issues of these last 8. Then he comes back 53, 55, 57. That was simple put it for him. Yeah, because they discover who discovered really is. Everyone's shocked the fact he is basically him. Also, Black Manta takes over Sub Diego. Yeah. Now, Ted Williams had nothing really to do with Sub Diego. He was just trying to continue what was left off for that particular storyline. Now, if you're really curious, though, was Sub Diego, did they properly conclude this whole thing with Sub Diego? Also, Aqua pops in the later issues as well. Yeah, but they later resolve some of this in, well, not Infinite Crisis per se, but it's all over the place. Yeah, and Carl Dorkham, who was a former henchman of Black Manta, becomes basically the mayor of Sub Diego. Yeah, also Vandal Savage makes guest appearance on Gregory Jupiter. You're thinking, who the heck is Gregory Jupiter? He is the brother of Lorne Jupiter. And he's the uncle of Lilith Clay. Omen. I'll discuss his debut later. We also turn to the Flying Fish. Human Flying Fish. Yeah. He pops up in this issue. Last time he ever appeared was his debut back in issue 272 of Venture Comics. Yep. And he pops up here for 3 issues. It's basically Ted Williams just brought back just this obscure villain for a few issues. Just to basically nothing much with him at all. We also Kavix, who is a character who debuted just in these issues here. Yeah, he's only here just for a few issues, and that's it for him. Once 56 comes out, basically, it's anybody in the book basically is dropped at this point. And it's basically 56 kind of wrap up the storyline. And then 57 mostly put is the final issue of the series. And, well, basically what happens to Arthur Joseph Curry Raffis, they attempt to have him join the Outsiders after this. Yes. Join the Outsiders. For reasons unexplained, they want him to join the Outsiders. Yeah. That's kind of in a way what they did with him afterwards. He popped up in the Five of Kind story. Which just after his own book got canceled. And then, he also pops up for Superman 666. Though it's more like a dream sequence. He also appeared for Superman 45. Waiting into the villain for an issue. Tales of Sinestro Corps, Superman Prime. His appearance here, flashback. He just a guest star. He also appeared in issue Countdown. It's you can definitely say he did very, very little after this. His last known appearance in comics was in the final issue of Final Crisis. Final Crisis issue 7. Yeah, that was anybody saw this guy. Mm-hmm. And that came out in 2009. Yeah, so no appearances by this character. But final thoughts on the Aquaman Sword of Atlantis title. Very interesting title for what it is. I think the Carbusic issues were better. That's my honest opinion. That's probably the reason why only those issues are in trade. Why the Ted Williams issues are in trade. These issues are okay. Nothing really big to write home about here. It's just that I think that once Kurt Busiek out the book, I think the book was doomed to be canceled anyways. Because Ted Williams isn't as big of a name for a writer as Kurt Busiek is, but Kurt Busiek had a really good run. I love this run. Ted Williams it feels like a bit of a step down from Kurt Busiek. And this sadly put away the last time Aquaman had an ongoing series until 2011. Yes, basically, Original Aquaman was brought back after this, thanks to Brightest Day. He was going to be killed prior to Blackest Night at some point. Yes, a period of about 2 or 3 years between Infinite Crisis and this. He was going to be died, and then came back. How he died, never explained. He was buried at the Mariner Bay Lighthouse. Yes, this is something that the writers of DC Comics never explained. It's just, he died at some point, and then here he is, and then he comes back to life, and now he's back for Brightest Day stories, and then that led into his new Aquaman series by Jeff Johns. Then it was Cullen Bunn, and actually first Jeff Parker, then Cullen Bunn, then it was Dan Abnett, then Kelly Zohanic. Basically, in a way, Brightest Day reignited interest in Aquaman, because my guess is that Sword of Atlantis probably did sell pretty well when Kurt Busiek came in the book, but it's like once he left, the book just went downhill, probably sales wise. And I guess DC was looking for reasons like Axe's book, anyways. But this is the end of Aquaman Sword of Atlantis. Yes, it does continue Volume 6 numbering, but I consider it sort of a separate series from Volume 6. But next time I talk about Aquaman will be Volume 6, and then I'll back to Spotlight stuff. Okay? So yeah, that's it, particular view. Next up is going to be Konosuba! And then one more Comic Corner, and after that, hopefully I get time to watch that time of Crisis Slime. Okay, next video. Bye.